Welcome to the HyperFast Mortgage Blitz. On this episode, we are going to talk about one way to solve the challenge of buying a home when you already own an existing one and need to sell it, but maybe you haven't sold it yet. This is important stuff. A lot of move-up buyers find themselves in this situation. One of the challenges that many move-up buyers have is qualifying for a loan and getting the money for a down payment when they're looking for that second home and they still haven't sold their first home. We've got one way to solve that issue today on this episode of the HyperFast Mortgage Blitz, so stay tuned. All right, Dustin, how you doing today?
We're doing unbelievable in here.
All right, move-up buyers. Challenges. One of the biggest challenges they have, the most prevalent common one, is they've identified the home they want. They don't want to make it the offer contingent on selling their other home because that lowers their ability to negotiate. The seller, in a hot market, the seller won't even look at it. In a good market, the seller is going to, not negotiate at all, if maybe a little bit if they need to, but it presents challenges, and there's two issues, right? We're going to talk about how to solve one of them today. So one issue is qualifying for both loans if you need to carry both. The second, and you get this a lot, especially there's a lot of people that make really, really good incomes, but they've got student loan debts, or they live in a high cost area, or they live a good lifestyle. I mean, who doesn't like fun stuff, right?
Yeah, nice cars.
So they haven't saved up enough for basically two down payments, the one they put in their existing home and then the new one. We've got a product, or you've got a solution, I should say, to help with that scenario, right? So this is for a buyer that's got the income to carry both mortgages, but they need money.
Right.
They need money for the down payment. What do you do?
Yeah. So if you don't have it in your checking account or your savings account, you can borrow against the equity of your current residence. So if you got a house that's worth $400,000, you owe $250 on it, you have equity that you can borrow from, and you can use what's called a bridge loan to borrow that and use that for your down payment on your next residence.
So basically, if they've built up equity, their down payment plus the appreciation and principal pay down over the years on the first home, you're going to be able to take some of the equity out of there. Like how high will you go on that, on the LTV numbers on there?
You can go pretty good. I think about 95%.
Okay.
It depends on the scenario. I mean,
yeah. So it's potentially as high as that. Just depends. Maybe lower for some people, depending on the program and that everyone's situation will be a little bit different, so these are just somewhat of broad generalizations, but basically you'll be able to get some of the equity out of there that will count towards your down payment, and then you start paying a mortgage on that new home right when you close on it.
Right, exactly.
You still got the mortgage over here, so now let's say they move in, they buy this home, then a couple months later they sell this one. I assume they get the equity back from that wasn't used, correct?
Absolutely.
So if they went up to 80% or whatever, they'll get the
other you get the remaining
20% back.
Right.
And then the down payment is already in that next home. They've already been making the payments, so that's just one way to solve that issue. We've got more, though. So if you're a buyer's agent, if you are a buyer and you're looking for ways to solve the challenge of buying a home when you already own one, go to hyperfastmortgage.com, connect with Dustin. He will set you straight, and we will see you next time on the HyperFast Mortgage Blitz.
Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, click right here. And if you want 100 real estate tips from my best-selling book, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to this channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. and leave some comments about what you think